Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So in the last video, I basically showcased Shanks, and then for this video, I'm gonna showcase Garp. And as you can see right here, he probably has one of the coolest, basically like animation or like cosmetic in the entire game. Because like
Before I continue with the video, I would like to remind that only 1.1% of the viewer that are currently watching the video are subscribed. So if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot. And yeah, back to the video.
at like random time, he will laugh, and then that's sick, man. I think that's like the first one. I think like where the cosmetic is like kind of have an interaction with the character instead of like just basically like uh standing still pose or like just repeating the same animation. Like the fact that he laughed, that's pretty sick. That's really cool. Oh yeah, how do you get Garp? So to get Garp, it's similar to Shanks. You just basically go to the raid, as you can see right here, and then he will drop from uh, well, you actually need this first. You need the Admiral Cape that you will get from uh, Act 6 of the Marine Port, and then you need that item. But to get Garp itself, you actually drop from the, what's it called? The story mode, if I believe, from World 1. So yeah, you kinda, this is gonna be really annoying because you drop from World 1, if I remember correctly, on the Arlong map, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Arlong map on World 1, the One Piece Arlong map. So yeah. Now, uh, let's actually see Arlong map, story mode, water park. Yeah, there you go, there it is, Garp. This is how you get Garp. He's from Water Park, Act 6, and he has a 1% chance to drop with 45 PD. So, to evolve him, you basically need Garp, and then you need his Admiral Cape that you can get from basically the raid, as you can see right there. I just showed you, not there, but just like earlier. Like, come on, man. Now, that is his first evolution, just like Shanks. Uh, for his second evolution, you will need the Kobe glasses thing that you get from the survival shop right here. You need the Disciple Possession, as you can see right here, and you will buy it using the Pirate Bounty coin that you get from the survival. And you will also need a bunch of this stolen jewelry and sea stone bullet as well for the basically like material to evolve Garp. And then you will need the water essence, and then there you go, that's how you get the new Garp. He's another really easy character to get in my opinion, because the survival map is really easy. It's really easy. I can advocate it. It's basically the same map as the boss of that one. So yeah. So let's do the showcase on Garp. Uh, Shout out to Radinal because he found like, I won't say a bug, but just like a way to basically abuse his ability, which I will show you later on. What the abuse of the ability is. It's basically similar to if you play during the Berserk update, which is the last one, the latest one. The Berserk update. What's it called? It's similar to the Eclipse thing. So let me unequip this. You kind of need Utah, because Utah is kind of like the only one that's like work consistently. So let me place down my farm unit. So for Garp, I have him with Glitch and Glorious, thankfully. And then for, he doesn't have a max skill tree, which I will tell you later on why, because he's such a pain in the ass to basically max skill tree. Let me get my money up real quick. Will I even have the ability to defend this? I will, okay. So let me place down a defend and place Garp at the front once I have enough money. Okay, there you go. And then auto upgrade. So this is Garp. On placement, he costs 3000, and then he will deal 13.3 million damage, 27 range, and 4.3 second SPA. And then for passive, you will have like 3 passive. The first one is called Galaxy Breaker, which will make it so that every 20 enemy that enters Garp range deal 25% damage per second for 10 seconds, which will cap at 250 total damage, and then 40% if armament's power is active, and that is another passive. And then after the final second, he will deal an additional 1.5 time damage to enemies in range and apply cripple, and 3 time damage if armament power is active, this one right here. Now, if the 20th enemy survive, Garp will gain the following buff for 50 seconds, which is he will gain cripple, plus 100% crit damage, and also plus 25% range. That is going to be his first passive. His second passive will be called the restrictive power. Garp crit chance cannot exceed 15%. So that's why if you basically actually gonna use Garp, you will need to basically use the what's it called again? The damage skill tree. But he has a base crit chance of 20%. So yeah. And whenever Garp uses one of his ability, he will gain the following buff for 20 seconds. He will apply stun, gain 100% crit damage, gain more range, reduce SPA, and instantly activate the Galaxy Breaker passive. So yeah. And then lastly, the armament power. Every 20 enemies that enter Garp range will grant the following buff for 30 seconds. Reduce ability cooldown by 5%, gain 10% damage, and also gain 50% crit damage. This passive has a 60-second cooldown. So yeah. So the base gist of Garp is basically you kind of want to spam this ability, especially this one right here. So yeah, let's basically start upgrading him. He's also going to be a water unit. Concavity, new attack, a bigger like AoE circle. And then this is the ability right here that you want to spam, cannon shot, which will make it so that he will deal 5 times of his damage to enemies in AoE, apply detonation, apply cripple, and has a 10% chance to critically strike enemies, dealing 100% damage. And if the ability crit, so the ability can crit, so yeah, reduces the cooldown of the next use of cannon shot by 10 seconds. So yeah. So if I use this ability, as you can see, he will gain the buff from his other passive as well. So you want to use this ability on auto ability on. And then next attack is called Divine Thunderer. It's going to be a light AoE. It's going to kind of like speed police the enemy. And this is his max stat. 2.52 billion damage, 62 range, 8.6 second SPA. And then this is the ability right here that I'm talking about. That's kind of like abusive a little bit. People kind of abuse this ability. So what this ability does is basically Garp will gain 1000% damage for one attack, deal 200% of the buff damage every 0.5 seconds for 30 seconds, and then after the 30 seconds of the ticking damage, deal an additional 1000% damage based on the original buff damage. So how this ability works is that Garp will buff himself by like 1000% damage for one attack, but if you basically make it so that he doesn't attack anybody, he will basically keep the buff. And let me show you right here. So let's place Utah down right here, and then let's put Garp to none and use the ability. As you can see, he now has 28 billion damage, and since he doesn't attack anybody, he will keep the passive. And then if you see Utah right here, he will try copying the ability, and there you go, 12 billion damage. So that's what I mean, how when I say that people can kind of like abuse this ability. So that's what I mean. That is kind of broken, man. So let's try maxing up Utah and then see the copycat ability. Almost 10 billion damage. Oh my god. So yeah, this is what's broken about the ability. I think this ability I think they will change this ability so like it's basically like a nuke. But I hope they don't. I hope they keep this ability like this. So basically make it so that if Garp doesn't attack enemies, he will keep the buff, and then people will just like use character that can clone stat. That will be really funny. So yeah, Brandon did a video on this, and it's really broken. And then you can also use this ability on use like Garo copy ability, which will make it so that he has like 60 billion damage. So that is really broken. So yeah, Garp is another unit that I wouldn't really recommend getting because he's just a really big damage dealer. He doesn't really do anything special except this one right here. Uh, I mean, he's really easy to get, but besides that, I don't really recommend getting him if you are kind of low on material and reroll. I think just skip over him, or like only get him to like uh finish the update log quest. Yeah, that is all for this video. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.